Across the African plain, long before the time of Simba and his pride, a young cub wandered, looking for nothing in particular. He was completely satisfied with his meandering, because he had to be. As long as he could remember, he was always alone, fending for himself. No pride to protect him, no mother fussing over him, and no father to teach him. He was a survivor, a vagabond in the vast land of endless sun, sand, and occasional shade. The young lion was convinced, because of his independence and survival up to that point, he was better than all the other creatures. It's true, his instincts were impeccable. Any challenge up to that point was overcome with ease because of his wit and quick thinking. Any confrontation with other creatures was quickly dismissed because of his species. Lions were greatly respected and feared, and any other predator that came in contact with him figured his mother or father would be close by, and the small amount of meat they would get from the young lion just wasn't worth the risk. So he was left alone, wandering. Although he liked being alone, he knew it couldn't last much longer. As the young rogue woke up from a long night's sleep, he pondered what would happen when he reached full maturity. He'd seen other lion prides around, and he knew what happened to outsiders. He was still a young cub, so none of them saw him as a threat. But if he valued his life, he would have to join a pride sooner or later, and sooner was about to come. At that moment, he heard a loud growl. What stood before him was a very large and very angry full-grown lion. He looked to be over 500 pounds of pure muscle. In its eyes were desperation and murder. The young lion hadn't been challenged like this before, so he stood, frozen, unable to move, speak, or even think. Thankfully, he got his bearings right as the adult lion started to lunge. He ran as fast as his not fully developed legs could take him. Thankfully, the attacker didn't pursue very far. Maybe he was slower than the younger lion, or perhaps he just wanted to claim the territory. The young rogue didn't wait to find out. He never looked back. Several days had passed since that terrifying event, and the young lion had grown tired and hungry. Any place that had water or prey or food was patrolled by other prides or male coalitions, which were anything but friendly towards an outsider. That was until he came across a group of cubs around his age. They were playing in the fields, tackling each other and calling each other names, just having a good time. The young rogue decided to introduce himself. After all, who wouldn't want to be friends with someone who had overcome a lion 3 times his size? Never mind that he ran away. Not that he needed validation, but he figured if he could become one of them, then he wouldn't have to worry about going hungry anymore. It was just future planning. He cautiously approached them. Although the cubs were old enough to know not to talk to strangers, they were innocent enough to think he didn't pose much of a threat. This wanderer was just a cub himself after all. So they welcomed him in. They played for hours until one of the lionesses came to check on them. She was rightfully confused at seeing an extra cub since she had last checked on him. He seemed harmless, and after talking to him, she found out that he was orphaned. Rather than leave him to fend for himself, she decided to bring him to the king to see if he could join their pride. And so, off to the king they went. King Mohatu was a strong ruler and fiercely protective of his pride, but most of all, his daughter Uru. I'll save the backstory of their family for another video, but ever since losing the love of his life, Uru's mother, to an outsider, Mohatu was guarded when it came to any lions outside of their own pride. So you can imagine the turmoil of bringing the young rogue to Mohatu. The lioness argued that he was young and alone. "But he will grow, and he will destroy our pride," Mohatu snapped. "I want to build a pride that my daughter can be safe in." The lioness insisted that without more strong males in their pride, they wouldn't be safe, and with a passive-aggressive sigh, Mohatu gave in. The young rogue was grateful for the lioness who fought for him, but after seeing the cubs go to their parents after the debate, he felt a sorrow that he usually pushed down, an emptiness from not having parents, mentors, or a pride. Now that he wasn't alone, he truly did feel alone, and he couldn't push it down this time, and the sadness came trickling down his cheek. This is the story of Ahadi.